This month marks the 40th anniversary of the signing of the Camp David Agreement. It's a peace treaty signed after extensive talks between Egypt and Israel at the U.S. Camp David presidential retreat. Yasser Hakim looks at the impact of the treaty 40 years later.
It was an historic day that has reshaped the future of the Middle East. As Anwar Sadat, Menachem Begin, and Jimmy Carter signed on the dotted line, they created peace between two enemies after three major destructive wars that spanned for decades.
President Sadat will be always remembered in the history as a courageous leader who took the decision to go and to visit the parliament of the opposition and to offer peace between the two countries and between the Arab in generally and Israel. Now we are enjoying 40 years of peace, stability and development.
اتفاقية السلام المصري-إسرائيلي كانت أهمها هو
The most important clauses in the treaty is that it applied a state of peace with several steps that led to the full return of Egypt's occupied land in Sinai. Sinai was then divided into several sectors. In Sector A, military presence of around 20,000 Egyptian soldiers with their heavy artillery, arms and ammunition. In Sector B in North Sinai, the presence of border guards are allowed. In Sector C at Sheikh Zayed, only civil police with light weapons are allowed. A neutral MFAO force was also established to monitor the application of the treaty.
Though it brought peace to Egypt, the Camp David has found its critics as well.
لا شك أن كان هناك بعض الإخفاقات.
There were failings in the general context, not regarding Egypt. The Palestinian case has not witnessed any improvements. In fact, it has gone worse than 40 years ago. The Golan Heights are still occupied and there are continued attempts by Israel and the US to completely annex Syria's Golan Heights. There are also problems facing the stature of the Gaza Strip.
The treaty did not yet reach its utmost concerning the normalization in relations between the two people. Because of the Israeli practices against the Palestinian people, still a good portion of the Egyptian people and the Arab people are not happy with what Israel is doing, and this is the only loophole in this process.
40 years on, some are questioning whether the treaty has lost its importance.
I say that we make a good step forward, that Jordan benefit from this, and Jordan make a similar agreement. We allow trade, exchange of trade between the two countries, cross-border trade, and also Egypt is supplying Israel with energy. Let us talk about oil. We were supplying Israel with oil. We are going to supply Israel, or already supplied Israel with gas, and this will continue. And this make the two countries depend on each other in order to maintain and in order to realize that peace is better. Peace is making both sides gain economically from the peace process.
The Egyptian and Israeli governments had to revisit the treaty in 2014 in the midst of Egypt's war on terrorism.
The Israeli side has been flexible with the treaty as more Egyptian troops were allowed in the demilitarized zones to fight terrorists in Sinai, as well as working on intelligence and information sharing between both sides to counter terrorism.
With 40 years gone, most experts believe that Camp David requires some amendments to keep up with the developments in the region. However, it's essential to keep the treaty in force as it has been able to maintain a sense of security and stability in an otherwise volatile Middle East. Yasser Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.